Hello, everyone. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday. I'm your host today, Ria Stark, and we're going to be talking about classroom management. So we're here with our partners at CLCD, which stands for Children's Literature Comprehensive Database. And TLC has partnered with CLCD to provide powerful solutions for school librarians and classroom collections. Before I introduce our panelists, I do have a few quick housekeeping items just before we get started. The first is that we are live. So thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. And as a live participant, you have the benefit of being able to ask questions throughout our presentation today. So please use that. It is the Q&A panel at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to ask any questions throughout the webinar and we'll address those at the end. The second thing is that this is being recorded. So if you would like to rewatch this later or share it with any of your colleagues, we do highly encourage that. And you can catch the replay starting tomorrow at tlcdelivers.com/webinars. We'll link that in the chat a little bit later. So back to managing classroom collections. CLCD provides databases containing over 1 million fiction and nonfiction children's books and media titles, enhanced with over 3 million awards, reviews, curriculum tools, and more. But today, Dr. Ajay Gupta, the president and CEO of CLCD, is here to talk about ClassShelf Plus, which is a response to many of the challenges districts are facing towards managing separate classroom collections alongside their library collections. And joining Dr. Gupta is TLC's own COO, John Burns. John, I'll go ahead and pass the mic to you first. What can you tell us about this new partnership between CLCD and TLC?
Yeah, thanks, Ria. Yeah, really excited to bring you Ajay today, Dr. Gupta and his products. We are representing these products within our customer base and beyond, and excited to do so. I believe they're very complementary to the functionality that our ILS provides in some regards around the same arena, and certainly the comprehensive database that sits underneath of all of this has tremendous value, and we've heard that from many of our existing customers who also use this product. So we're super excited to begin this formal partnership. It's pretty new, just started this month in November, and excited to bring this to our customers and beyond. So with that, I'll pass it over to Dr. Gupta and let him tell you more about his great products.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Ria. And thanks for this opportunity to present our products to Library Corporation customers. Actually, that's very nice. I'm looking forward to presenting a couple of products to you guys. One of them is ClassShelf Plus, very appropriate solution for schools and their classroom collections specifically. And then also Enterprise, another product that we have, along with a third one called QuickFind. And I'll show you what we have today in production, as well as what's happening within the next couple of weeks as we bring out the current beta version and deploy that to production as well. So I am president of CLCD. We have been around for almost 27 years, actually. It started in 1993. The database was deployed in 99, and we have been continuously adding content to it. You may have seen us as a company. Many times you see the logo more often, the one you see here. You see the logo more often than you may know about the company. We are focused on children's literature content, and that's where we specialize. So for this hour, I'm going to present to you these two products, especially Enterprise, which is in V7, and ClassShelf Plus, with a particular focus on ClassShelf Plus, because that is an appropriate solution for what we are looking for. And then how it leads into the other products as well. Each of them are standalone products, but at the same time, they integrate well with each other. And as we take our new relationship with Library Corporation forward, you will also be seeing more integrated solutions so that data is kind of flowing more smoothly between TLC products as well as CLCD products as well, with all these acronyms here. ClassShelf Plus is really a product that we designed with a particular intent in mind. We were presenting our products to school districts, especially because of all the book challenges that were taking place over the last 18 months to 2 years or so. And as you likely know, there was almost 300 to 400% increase in the number of challenges that schools were facing. And so this solution came about because we were talking to media specialists and at district level, And they said this is also another need that is there, that is coming up. So we purpose built this solution. It is not a part of anything. It is not a retrofitting a solution into something else. It is not a resource manager that is being retrofit into something else. It is targeted with a intent to really take classroom collections and get them approved, get them exposed to the community. It is also designed with very rapid rollout in mind. So literally you can start, and I'll showcase all this to you. You can start with the basic single district administrator signing on, and they then invite the principals there. Principals in turn invite teachers and media specialists, and that can get the ball rolling. We also built it with the intent that each level should have minimal work that they need to do. Obviously, all of you are being asked to do this in addition to all the other work that you have on your table. We didn't want to add to that any more than necessary. So much of the communication that is needed between a teacher, media specialist, principal, administrators, etc., all that is being handled by the application itself. So I'll show you how that works as well. And then as the collections are being approved by media specialists for the teachers, those collections can be immediately made available to the community. And I'll show you how that can be set up as well. So in this product, we built 4 different roles. We built the role of administrator, principal, media specialist, and teachers. And I'm curious, curious about the audience today. Where do you guys fit into that?
All right, Dr. Gupta, we do have a poll that will ask that exact question. So in just a moment, the first one is whether or not you've all experienced book challenges or reconsiderations, as I've heard them recently referred to, especially in this last year. Have you seen a lot of those? Have you only seen a few of them? Are you lucky enough to not have any book challenges, or maybe you're not sure because that might not be your department, or you don't see those requests coming in right away? All right, we've gotten a few responses so far. Oh, it's still changing. I'll give it another moment for people to vote on their screens. But it looks like none is sitting at 44%, which is very nice to see. We have a couple of folks, it's split between yes a lot and yes a few. And a few folks are not sure. So maybe that's not their department. Go ahead and share those results. And then in just a moment, we'll have a second poll on your screen. This one has to do with what your audience role is. So what do you do at your library? So that'll be up in just a moment. So which best describes you? Are you a school librarian or a media specialist working at the school site? Are you a district librarian? Are you a library director? Are you a principal? Are you a superintendent? Or are you another? Maybe we didn't capture you all the way. So we'll give that just a moment for that to come in. All right, we are getting some other responses. I'm thinking we have a few staff sitting on the call as well. And then mostly we're getting school librarians and district librarians are the other main ones showing up. So our audience is usually librarians and they have come to represent today.
Excellent.
All right, back over to you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Ria. So let me kind of keep the conversation focused on you guys and what the roles that you'll be seeing. So within ClassShelf, we have 4 different roles that we have created. One is administrator, who then sets up the subscription and really is responsible for oversight, district level oversight, as well as inviting the principals and inviting media specialists at the district level. Principals then follow on within their institution. They are able to invite the teachers, as I mentioned. They invite the media specialists as well that are at the school level. And they also are potentially the ones that will put up whether a particular class collection is now ready to be exposed to the community. And then, of course, teachers that are the central part of a classroom collection who are actually uploading their data, the books that are in their classrooms into the database. And then media specialists obviously play a central role, and principals have the approval reject authority, but majority of the work will likely be done by media specialists at the school level or district level. We have been speaking with many of them at various school districts, and it varies. Some of them are really focusing on their school or maybe a couple of other schools. And then there are district level media specialists that are coming in and looking at that. So in a nutshell, administrator invites the district level media specialists, they invite principals, they then go forward and really open it up. System is set up for unlimited number of classrooms. So the subscription is set up at district level by school. But once that is set up, there is no limit on how many collections can be there and how many media specialists or teachers in a given setting there are. And each teacher can further have multiple collections within themselves also. So this was designed to adjust and accommodate variations on what is really, what is the reality of it. So this is what a simple invite looks like. So I'm going to jump into Classroom. You can go to our website, by the way, clcd.com. I'm currently logged in as an administrator. So administrators see this particular, and by the way, I'm going to jump between the presentation and the actual live demo. So you'll see that this particular account is active through May of next year. It is signed up with 2 different licenses for 2 schools only in this case. It's a demo account, obviously. You will see the school district here, middle school, and the administrator can see how many media specialists, school teachers, etc., are assigned to each of those institutions. And then within that, if the administrator is interested, they can see within each of the schools what is the number of books that have been uploaded, how many were approved, how many were rejected, etc. They also see a complete oversight statistic here, where they can see how much work is still pending, how much work is approved, and so on and so forth. And then each of these tiles is really a live tile. So you can see, okay, 8 books were rejected. So I'm going to go from here. I can really see what 8 books were rejected. So I'm going to again jump back and forth. But when a district administrator is inviting principals to come in, it is literally as simple as that. So you say principals or you say district level media specialist. If you want, you can add a personal note. And here you just start typing all the email addresses, or you can just copy paste them here, and off the invitation goes. Invitation, when a principal receives it, is something like this. So principal, there is a text. Essentially, the link is sitting in the middle of it, where the principal can go and create their own account. And then a similar email is initiated after principal has created account, where they can invite teachers. And again, teachers, media specialists, they click on this link, out pops a screen, they can enter their name, their role, etc., and off they go. Teachers can sign in, and they don't have to have the fields. They say first name, last name, but teachers can potentially just call themselves, classroom A, room 101. I mean, it can be as simple as that, and system will accept that. And so let me kind of go into why why the ClassShelf Plus product from CLCD really caters to your needs. So first, I'm going to show you what a media specialist was seeing. This is where you can see what different roles are, as I was showing you before. Media specialist, district administrator. District administrator's primary role is essentially to invite principals and district level media specialists. And once that is done, they can see the various invitations that were sent. They can see which ones are active and inactive, etc. They can resend it. They can delete an account if they so want. Let's say the email was wrong. They can simply remove this and add a different one. They can resend it here as well if the email was not activated or it got lost in spam or something like that. And they can search the collection. They don't have any other roles other than being able to do that. And every screen has a filter at the top that they can use by the organization, by the teachers that are in that organization, and so on and so forth. So district administrators have that ability. I'm going to log this one. I'll log out of this. And I'm going to jump into a principal's role. So I'm going to log into, and forgive me for the variations in names that are there. I'm sorry, I should have logged in. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So right now I'm logged in as a principal. So my purview is I have 3 school teachers that have signed up, and I have 1 media specialist, obviously a demo account. Reality is obviously much larger than that. And this role has very different perspective or very different actions that they can really take here. They can invite users as well. As I said, they can invite teachers, media specialists as well. You can have, once that is done, they can manage invitations just like we saw in the other account. What you see here is a logo that the principal has created or they have simply uploaded into the system. Idea being that this lets them customize the solution to the school's need. And each school can have that, a district can have that, district can have a logo that is superseded by that of a principal and so on and so forth. By the way, when a community interface is created, that interface shows the logos and the color scheme for the institution. So in this particular case, I'm going to go in and see what users I have. As I said, the first name, last name need not be there. You can simply have them cryptically as School B, Room A01. You can have them names here. And then within each, their title is there. This is something when a teacher registers, they enter all this information that is then visible to the principal. I'll show you what these are. These are the views for a community, but I'll go into that in just a moment. Principal can see statistics on which teacher has done what. This is usually not going to be needed as much by the principal, but teachers and media specialists will see that. They will see statistics on who loaded what, how many books were loaded, how many were non-matched, etc., what date they were loaded, and so on and so forth. When you see no file name, what this is showing you is the ability within the system. And when I log in as a teacher, you will see that where a teacher can scan, literally they can scan in the ISBNs that for the collection that they have, or they can upload a list of ISBNs, a CSV file or a text file with the ISBNs is just as good. They can, teachers, or rather, I'm sorry, principals have the ability to reject and approve particular books. Again, I don't expect them to exercise it very often, but they can override. Let's say, for example, if I were to say Second Banana, I want to approve it, they can simply go ahead and approve that. Currently, you're seeing on the screen, you're seeing only the titles that were pending. I'm going to open it up for all the titles. And you start to see with color coding on what was rejected, what has been approved. You can change the number of titles you can view at a given point. So grays are generally pending. And this is an important consideration. And before I go back to slide deck, I want to point this out to you. So what you're seeing in these columns are books that have reviews in them, that have awards in them, that have best book markings, curriculum tools, reading measurement programs, and so on and so forth that are built into. And this is the data that we are bringing in from the CLCD side of things. Each of these columns are designed to be, you can sort by them. So for example, you wanted to see every title that has any kind of a review or award. You can simply sort by the column and therefore gives you the ability to quickly approve or reject a given title. You also have filters available at the top. So this screen changes. You can expand that and say, well, show me all the books that have challenges. Show me all the books that have X number of reviews in them or number of awards in them. And you can search by that. And it will show you the data that has been culled together based on CLCD data. So why is this important? Why this data is into it? It is designed so that very quickly you can go in and approve the titles that meet your standards. Let's say the standards in the school are that every book that should be in the collection has to have 2 reviews, has to have at least 1 award, or an award winner is an automatic approval. We have seen all those scenarios come together in our discussions. And then you have alerts here. You can say, okay, these 2 books were challenged. So before I approve this or I reject this, let me kind of do research on this. So a particular title, any title, this is principal, teacher, or media specialist, can go in and they can see what this title is all about. So I clicked on the H2Give. Now you're within CLCD database. You're seeing what this particular book has available to it. You're seeing that this had, so many best book lists have this book on them. We also see state and provincial reading lists, curriculum tools. And here you see, it has won 58 different awards. And these are all the awards that this particular book has won. Plus, all the reviews that are available are all full text reviews that you have. So in this case, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reviews that are available for this book. and we bring it together from 53 different sources. So what makes the data and Class Shelf very powerful are these criteria. The database is merged into a title view. So you're not seeing a particular record or only a book by a publisher. So you're seeing everything on that title in one place. You're seeing the data is available to you at your fingertips as you're making the decisions. If you decide to review it, you can jump in and see the data as well. You're able to see full text data. So you're not just seeing links to data, you can see it right there. District logos and color scheme to make sure that the community can be put at ease. They are built here as well. And then the notifications and the workflow is integrated. So there isn't additional work of sharing word lists and spreadsheets with each other. You can literally, all of that work can be happening within the Class Shelf Plus product. By the way, at the end of the day, if there is an activity that is taking place, let's say I am a district administrator or I'm a principal in this case, I go in and I take these two books that have already been approved, but I reject them. At the end of the day, CLCD or the Class Shelf Plus database goes in and culls together the content and all the activity that was done and starts sending notifications off to each of the players. So a teacher is informed, in this case, Anthony, dear Anthony, following titles were approved from your collection. So your remedial English or your classroom B collection, Terry Polo, who is the media specialist, has approved 23 titles and rejected one. So you get this notification sent. Media specialist doesn't have to do that. You are informed at the end of the day about any changes to your collection. Teacher can obviously respond to that by taking those books and making them available to students right away. Similarly, if once a teacher is uploading their titles into the system, Kerry, who is the media specialist, they are told about all the collections that were uploaded. So in this case, Bill Payne, who is a special ed collection, they have uploaded special ed collection. They have uploaded 100 titles, and 90 and 99 of them matched within CLCD database. And I'll talk about that when as we kind of get deeper into the demonstration. Any questions so far? Please do post them. We'll address them towards the end of the call. So the alerts are sent. Again, it avoids any kind of additional emails that have to be done, any spreadsheets going back and forth, and this is done by the system automatically as it moves forward. So I mentioned the content that you're seeing that within the database. So here you're seeing reviews, awards, etc. This data comes directly from CLCD. So CLCD has the largest repository of professional reviews in the database. We are a sole provider of about 400,000 reviews. We get them from 53 different sources, and we add about 2,000 new reviews every month. And we keep all the old and new titles, etc. And again, in a title view, you don't have to worry about, oh, was that the same publication that I'm holding in my hand? You see it all brought together into one view. The second part, and I showed you this part, second part is we are also the largest awards database in the industry. We are pleased that Library of Congress uses us as well for their work. Major award committees, including ALA committees, use our databases, and publishers use the database as well. So the same content is available to you. We add about 700 new entries every month. You will find very esoteric awards in it, national, international awards, all about children's literature. They are built into the database as well. And let me quickly jump here. And this is what I'm talking about. So when you click on any title, so let's say British Book Awards, CLCD takes you there. You see a synopsis of the award, what it is, a little bit of a detail on it. And then you can see all the way back to when the award was first announced, which in this case happens to be 1990. You can see what the winner was at that point. They were not putting out the honorable mentions. And you can start to see, in this case, for example, between 94 and 2016, the award was discontinued. So you see when the data is available, we present that to you. And as you get nearer, as more data was available, we show it to you as well. So, so you're seeing this part of it. Next thing is, this is something that is a request that several school districts have made. It is going to come in the next version of Class Shelf Plus. CLCD doesn't just use publication data. we use data from various components that we are getting. As I said, we are the largest repository of a lot of information. So we use data from publishers, from Lexile counts, accelerated reader, professional reviews, awards that are coming in, and the reading lists that are part of it. And we run them through an algorithm that we have that actually very narrows the range in which a title really exists. Recently, I had a chance to look at a title called More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. And it's a classic book where the range given by publishers was much wider than it really should be. And we have narrowed it down. And I'll show you that once we are in the product. And that what's going to happen here, and kind of updating you on what's coming soon, is likely we'll add a column here on the right hand side. So instead of putting perhaps the reading measurement or the best book list, we might replace that with the age ranges. So you'll have a filter here. We can specify books between 3 and 8, or between let's say 5th grade to 8th grade if you're a middle school librarian. And you can see all the books with their awards, with their reviews, etc., their accounts here. You can see the data if you so want, but you can bulk approve these titles very, very quickly. And you will know that that age marking there is a definition behind it. There is it was not just put in there, but there was a algorithm that was defining, and various data points were being culled together to bring this information to you. As I mentioned, the Farber merge aspect. And in case you're not aware of what Farber merging does, is it's a criteria. It causes all the fragmentation of information that typically exists, and it allows us to present a title view to it. When you're looking at your systems, one thing you will notice is that you will have a particular book by that particular publisher. Obviously, you purchase an edition of it that was in circulation at that point. But when you are looking at it from a content perspective, a previous edition may have won an award and a later edition may have been reviewed. And you kind of want to see all the information in one place, and we are able to do that. What this does is all the ISBNs that are using to search by, etc., there is more chance of finding them within CLCD than not. And we have been working on it for about 6 years, and we keep on improving little pieces of that. The other aspect that is very powerful in CLCD databases, and I'll show you a product that we have. So I'm going to jump into something we call Quick Find. Again, all these products are available through Library Corporation at present. What you see here is a topical view of everything. So this is designed for students to walk in without any idea about what they are looking for. Enterprise, as you can see, when you go to advanced search, is more a search tool. There are about 50 or 60 different filters that are available to you here. In Quick Find, you discover what those topics are. How does that work within ClassShelf? So within ClassShelf, when you're looking at a particular area, when you look at a particular book, we are not just focusing on the subjects. We are able to also focus on a general topic that belongs in. So I was explaining this to a librarian the other day. When you're looking at Native Americans, for example, most of the system, when you're doing a subject search, you have to search by either, let's say, Apache or Arapaho or Cherokee. You have to look at those various groupings. Within CLCD, you can actually search by Native Americans. You'll be able to find that. And that will become more obvious as the data and the ClassShelf product keeps on improving as we go forward. Yeah. So so that data is what's really driving it at this point. I wanted to mention that because we are very proud of the fact that we have the largest database that was pulled together in the database. So in a nutshell, as I'm covering this, about 1.2 million fiction and nonfiction titles are driving what's in ClassShelf Plus. 600,000 reviews, and we keep on adding to that. Largest collection of awards are available to you. Reading lists, best book lists, Lexile accelerated counts, curriculum tools, all that data is really being brought together to assist in the sole task of being able to approve and make these titles available to community. So let me quickly show you before I go to the title interface what a community view looks like. So I'm going to go to user management and I'm going to go to open this up. And I'm going to go to, oh, I'm in logged in as a particular teacher. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take Anthony Edwards. I'm going to take that. So this essentially is a link that is opening up. A second. Yeah, there you go. This, what you're seeing right now, is a community view. So you have the logo of the school here. Most of the times, the requirement is to be able to search by title, author, or ISBN. And any title that has been approved for this particular teacher is available as a link. You can simply go here, take links from all the teachers if you want. Each of those links is a unique link that can be created. You can create a page with all of them in one side, or you can put the links on the teachers portal if that's what is needed. We have made it very flexible, where literally from one point, you can select the ones that you're interested in seeing. So I'm going to make some changes. So just keep an eye on what this particular interface is seeing. I'm going to see if maybe this one has fewer ones. Okay, so I'm going to go use the second one. I'm going to use Bill Payne's account, and then I'm going to log into that. And I'll show you how this really works. So keep an eye on the fact that this particular account has 9 titles at present. I'm going to log in as a media specialist next. And I'll show you how that can be changed. But first, I'm going to log in as Bill Payne and show you what he's seeing. So I'm a teacher. My name is Bill Payne. I have 2 particular collections that I've created. One has 387 books. The other one has only 9 titles that are part of it. I'm going to go into uploading a collection. And here I can simply scan in ISBNs. And we have tested the application running on a tablet with a Bluetooth scanner connected to it. So you can simply zip, 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 and add the ISBNs that are there. You can also drag and drop the files here. This was a specific question that a district asked us. Can we make tablets available, or most teachers have phones available to them? So a Bluetooth scanner connected to their phone, they can come to this screen and simply scan in all the ISBNs that they're looking for using a Bluetooth scanner. A teacher can see, essentially, they can see what was available to them, what titles they have indicated, what titles are, I'm going to check that off again. What has been approved, what has been rejected. Now, here we took a liberty a little bit. So when a title has been rejected by a media specialist or a principal, this physical book is sitting in the classroom, obviously. So teacher can take this and agree that, okay, you know what, I'm going to remove this particular title, or they can have a discussion with the media specialist or the principal about keeping it. That's a discussion, obviously, that needs to happen outside of the application. The process will not be able to do that. But because physically the book sits in the classroom, they can simply remove that. And once they remove it, media specialists and principals are informed that this particular title has been removed from the collection. So what I'm showing you here are the 396 books that Bill Payne has loaded. He has 2 collections. My test collection has very small set. It only has 9 titles in it, right? And Moi Moi was when we were this particular is that not here. Only the approved titles are visible. So The Boy Who Cried Wolf all the way to I Is Someone Else, they are all here. Am I looking at the same account? Maybe I'm not. Yeah, maybe I'm looking at another account. But here, in effect, these are only the titles that will be visible to them. I'll actually log in as a principal and I'll show you this collection as well. So a teacher only has the role of being able to upload the collection. They can look at the stats. They can look at, well, I have uploaded these 5 books, 3 match, 2 match, whatever. We expect very high match rate because of our content, but they can see the stats. But primary work screen is really the managed collection work screen for them, and the upload collection screen for them. And for dashboard, it's a very simple way they can log in. Each of these dashboard entries you can click on to see full data set that dashboard entry is about. Okay, so I'm going to now log out of this, and I'm going to log in as a media specialist. Media specialist also has a very specific role, very tight role that we have defined for them. This particular media specialist is seeing 3 different teachers. The color coding essentially says that there are more titles approved for this particular teacher versus not. They have the same interface there. They can see within purview of their school how many were approved, how many were not, and they are seeing all the collections that are coming in essence here. So they have a view into amount of work that is ahead of them. Their primary work area is going to be managed collection. This is where they see all the filters. They can quickly approve. In one school district that we were speaking with, they are planning to approve everything and then go back and remove certain things. Another school district that we spoke with, they are gonna move forward one at a time and make sure that they are really sure about the titles that they're gonna approve. So system can accommodate either way. You can open this up and say, I want to see all the titles, and you can do bulk approvals if you so choose. If you don't want that, you want to select certain ones only, you can do that part of it. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to see in Shoreview High School, I'm going to see what Bill Payne has entered. Let's see. And I'm going to take 10 lucky ladybugs, which are part of the special ed collection. And I'm going to take the mix-up and the Mississippi, and I'm going to approve that. Yes. So currently we are seeing pending. You do not see them anymore. When you go to titles and you want to see all the titles that have been approved, you can do that. And the 3 that we approved recently, the mix-up, 10 lucky ladybugs, all of them are there for you to see that. When we go to, and again, I'm not sure if this is Bill Payne's collection. Obviously, we hide the teacher level information. College prep English, no, that's not it. Yeah, special ed collection. So I'm going to search the title that we just approved, which was called the 10 Lucky Ladybugs. I'm going to close this. 10 Lucky Ladybugs. That should be, I'm going to refresh the screen. And I'm going to go in here and see 10 Lucky Ladybugs. Oh, of course. The title is here. So a media specialist went in, they approved a specific title. That specific title is available now to be done. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to see all the pending titles. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to select another one, Play Date with Lulu. First, I'm going to go here. Let's say Play Date is here. No title. Going to class shelf, Play Date with Lulu. I'm a media specialist, so I'm going to approve that. Title, yes. Title is no longer in pending. Once I go to class shelf, I'm going to search again. Play Date with Lulu is there. So it's all happening in background. Community can see all the titles that are there. At the end of the day, teacher would be informed that Cherry Polo has gone in and approved these 3 or 4 titles. If I upload any more titles, they will be informed about it as well. So reasonably straightforward, very powerful system, all working to make sure that your work is actually simplified and made easy. Media specialists in this case, they can look at collection stats, as I said, they can look at dashboard, but their primary work area is here. They can select by reviews, titles that are reviewed, titles that are challenged. They can select all the teachers if they want. They can select across the whole organization. By the way, if a title is approved, let's say 2 different teachers have the same title, both of them will be approved. And so you don't have to necessarily go in and select that. There is some request that one of the districts asked us to see if they can change that because a media specialist coming at district level may approve that, let's say, that title for a high school, but not for a middle school. So there is something that that may need to change down the road. But currently, once a media specialist approves a title, all the titles are approved at that point. Again, let me go back here. You can see all the titles that are there. And if I want to see, well, what are the, let's see, I'm going to go to Gallant. I'm a media specialist. My district subscribed to CLCD. You see all the content at your fingertips, all the awards that you saw there, as well as the reviews. You can do a full text review of that. You can search, and then even expand your search beyond that if you need to. So those are the four roles, as I mentioned earlier on. Those are the four roles that really exist in the system. Some of the upcoming features that we are looking at integrating age markings, as I mentioned. We are looking at ability to add comments. So media specialist, for instance, is looking at this particular screen and they decide to reject it. They will get an option to add a comment. Therefore, that comment can be sent to teachers directly. It will also be recorded here so they can see a history of why certain things were done certain way. We are looking at ways, and this will require some work on our part and really working with our users. And as a company, we respond to what users are telling us all the time, where we are looking at ways where we can assist in recommending titles that are ready for approval or perhaps for rejection as well. But it'll be as we evolve the product that's going to come together. And then audit record and collection management decisions such as records and rejections and so on. And that could be a report that can be generated at top level. So principal logs into the account, they can generate a report that says why certain things happen with comments on them, etc. So those are some things that we are looking at adding within that. I am open for any questions or anything else that we'd like to talk about.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. We have had a couple of questions come in, and I will get to those in just a moment. But before I do, we have one last question for our audience, which is whether or not you would like more information. So would you like to see a demo? Would you like us to send additional information to you? Go ahead and click that yes, and we will get back to you. Or hang out for the next couple of minutes and ask all of those questions you want to ask live, and we will be here being able to answer those. So we'll leave that up on your screen for just a moment. The first question that's come in, Ajay, what's the difference between those two tabs that you were showing? I believe one of them said Enterprise and the other said Class Shelf. Are those two distinct products?
Yes, very much so. So CLCD fields multiple products. I think I mentioned that up front. So Enterprise is a product that is designed with search system in mind. So I'm going to bounce to the top of that. You can see that here. The other product I was showing you was called Quick Find. Let's see. I have a lot of screens open. This is a Quick Find product. It has a quick search option. It's designed with topics in mind. So something where you can click mythology. You can say, hey, mythology, I'm going to go see pirates. I want to see books for 4 through 7 years old. And we show you the product. Oh, I want to only see fiction books. It will show you that. Few clicks and you can quickly discover the book that you're looking for. When you click on that, you can see if the book, everything about that particular book that is available within the CLCD database. You can also go back from here. And by the way, these little hearts, this is something that as we work with Library Corporation more will become seamless. This basically says that this title is part of my local library collection. So that's what these hearts are. And you can narrow the search to just your collection. So let's say you have an ILS system with Library Corporation. You're going there, the data has been integrated into CLCD products. Very seamlessly, you can do all the searches, everything you're doing, just narrowed down to your data set. Same thing in Enterprise as well. You can take all these searches, various parameters, the grade levels, the reader's age, Lexile count, so on and so forth, narrow it down to just your collection that is there. So those are the three products I was showing you. One is Class Shelf, one is Enterprise, and one is Quick Find. I'm sorry, Quick Find. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you. And then a follow-up to that is, does a user need to have access to both to get the most use out of Class Shelf, or is it really good to have both of them?
It is good to have both of them. Class Shelf works in itself, in its entirety. It's a standalone solution. It is designed for maximum rollout. What it doesn't allow you to see is, well, there are 5 reviews, there are 2 awards, what those awards are, what those reviews are. If you are interested in seeing if the full text content of them, that you won't be able to see without subscribing to Enterprise or to Quick Find, by the way. Either one will work fine. What you do see at your fingertips is the data, the raw data that is available for your decision-making process.
Great, thank you. We do have a couple more questions. One is, can teachers still add items to ClassShelf if the book is not in the database? So maybe if it's like a teacher's guide or something that doesn't have a traditional ISBN.
It is, no, you cannot. Right now, that's a problem because the whole system is designed with an intent of showing you that the titles that can be approved by reviews and so on and so forth. We are working on a way where those titles can be sent to us and we will integrate them currently. That's something else that we are looking at as a special request that came in from a particular school district. It will take us a little bit to get that integrated into system though, because frankly, that really benefits all the users also. If you have a particular title in your library, it's likely that other teacher might have similar book as well. So it helps us all to get that title in.
Great. Keep asking your questions. We'll be here for another couple of minutes. This next one I'm going to pass over to John, which is how can libraries get access to this resource?
Yeah, well, you can contact TLC. You can click the button in the webinar for more information, and we'll follow up with you. This is a ILS agnostic product, which means that you do not have to have certain levels or features or modules in your ILS in order for this to work. And in theory, you don't even have to have a TLC ILS system. This can work on its own outside of the Library.Solution for schools. There are benefits to having both, just like there's benefits to having both ClassShelf as well as Enterprise or QuickView. And to support that, we do have bundled pricing for the ClassShelf plus the backend database. And we do offer kind of bundled pricing to incentivize those persons who are evaluating ClassShelf to also consider CLCD or the Enterprise database and so forth. But in order to obtain this, which is a brand new product, is just to engage either us directly or request information, and we'll follow up with you, and we can provide you a more detailed demonstration and or quote for what it would cost your school or library to procure either or both of the products that Ajay has showed today.
Great, thanks, John. Ajay, if you wouldn't mind going back to your slide deck, I believe we have the email address on that last slide. So if you didn't get a chance to submit through that poll, this is our email addresses. Feel free to contact us there. And I saw Justin also posted the link for our webinar archive, and that will be available tomorrow. So that same place you go to get the archive, you can also ask us questions through the contact form on tlcdelivers.com. All right, a couple more questions are coming in. This is a great admin management tool. The first question teachers are going to ask, though, is if there are checkout, check-in features that classroom teachers can use for managing the circulation of individual classroom titles.
It is an option. The last one you see here, it is something that we'll be adding in very soon. It's a very simple, straightforward, integrated way that you can actually check in, check out from within ClassShelf as well, and it'll be built into the product as we move it forward. It'll be an option. You might have the ability of using a Library Corporation check-in, check-out function, or you could just use the check-in, check-out function that will be built in, and we'll turn that off for ClassShelf. You will have a couple of options of doing that. Yeah. Yeah, that is a request coming in from many of the districts that we are speaking with. So it's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that ties into this next question, which is really a big question. I'm going to let you both speak to this. What is the distinction between this classroom database and creating a curated list for classrooms from library materials? So these are two separate collections and two separate databases, correct?
Yep, that's right. So,
yes.
John, you want to take that, or I can answer that?
I'll let you go first, Ajay, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. So in this particular screen, you're exactly right. The classroom collections is a separate entity than what the library holds in the database. And as we look at integrating with Library Corporation more, the trick will be to basically at this point, not just show you these pieces, but also show you that this particular title is available in your local library as well. You have already gone through the practice of really approving, making sure those titles are correct for the local library. once that is done, a teacher can really benefit from that. So that would be one thing. The other thing that came up is there are approved lists of titles that obviously districts are holding. We are looking at a way where from administrator level or at a principal level, those lists can be uploaded into system, and we'll look at automatic approval of those titles as well. So when you go into it, even before a media specialist has touched anything, once that data is integrated, you will automatically see those approvals happen, and that will be integrated into system. Does that help?
Yeah, and I would add, Ajay, and that's a good point. I know this came up in the last time we did a presentation for a prospect a couple of weeks ago. They asked about the loading of pre-approved lists, and that was a good question and something I know you're working on. But I think that this is a very complementary product to Library Solution for Schools and Library Management. It gives you the benefit of providing, as noted, a good administrative oversight to the classroom collections, while not also directly requiring library or media specialist management of those collections. So I know that it's not a one size fits all approach in the many districts that we have as customers and those districts around the country, but this does kind of disassociate the classroom management away from the media specialist, if that is the intention or policy of the district. It also allows the media specialist to be very involved in terms of approval in managing the collection. But the way that the separate databases help facilitate a greater outcome than trying to compile all this in one database and then create curated lists out of it, so to speak. So I think that that's something that was we thought about quite a bit as we were working with Ajay to incorporate this into our portfolio of products, is to make sure that it was very complementary and not duplicating some functionality, so to speak, that may already exist in your library management system, as well as it gives the flexibility for multiple pathways of how you're managing classroom collections, and doesn't just by default assume that that's a piece of the library or that is a sole library management function. It can operate that way, but it also spreads out the administrative overhead to multiple stakeholders: school administrators, school principals, media specialists, and teachers.
Yeah, well said. That's the last question that I've seen come in so far. I'll give it just another moment just in case someone's typing right now. And while potentially they're asking that last question, I'll say this is being recorded again. So if you want to catch the replay of this, it's at tlcdelivers.com/webinars. And if you want to reach out to us for any questions or to get more information, you can always contact us at info@tlcdelivers.com. All right, I don't see, did I vamp long enough? Is there another question? Nope. All right. Well, Dr. Ajay Gupta, thank you so much for joining us today to be able to present ClassShelf Plus. And John, thank you so much for being able to answer some of those questions. I know a lot of people are interested, and I think that you've added some great clarity. So thank you both. And thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll see you on our next webinar.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for attending. Thank you, Ajay. See you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.